a lot of you may be wondering, or probably could care less, what have I been up to these past couple weeks? Well, number one, obviously, studying. Number two, lifting. Number three, rehab. Right now, currently, I'm in week 9 of my ACL rehab. I wanted to give you guys an update about everything, so this may be a longer video, but I wanted to explain the week by week recovery of how I've been doing. So we did week 1, obviously. If you haven't checked that out, please do. And then, so from now I'm going to do week 2 to up to now week 9. And I want to explain the importance of this video right away, is that there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube, other places that, you know, it's either happy stories of people, oh, I recovered quicker than I thought I would, or, you know, or these stories about, oh, it took longer than expected. I want to give you guys the full, like, in-depth review of what it's actually like coming from an athlete, someone that is always trying to do more, always got that work ethic. And so I want to explain to you and give you guys the real details of what it's like dealing with an ACL injury and the whole mentality of it. It's definitely a mind game. It's definitely more mental than it is physical. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So week 2, the one thing that's going to shock you is when they take the bandages off. So I went to see my surgeon during week 2 after the surgery, and to put in perspective, my right leg or knee, which is the one that they operate on, compared to my left leg, I measured both my thighs, and my right thigh was 2.5 inches in circumference wise smaller than my left thigh. So put that in perspective, as for me, for someone that lifts a lot and being a soccer player too, you know, expecting to have the bigger, more defined legs, it came to a shock to me that, you know, in just a couple of days, that's how quick it took to shrink my leg that fast. But when you're not walking on it, when you're not using it like you're used to, that's how easy that's all it takes, literally. So that's definitely gonna be a shock. Just be ready for it, and do not worry, it's gonna come back. Please do not worry, you'll be fine. It's not the end of the world. But also with week 2, also with seeing the surgeon, he wants me to stay with these exercises he's given me. They're very light, easy exercises. You're literally using resistance bands and stuff. So it's basic, pretty much, you know, leg raises, lateral raises with your leg, more just stretching and just trying to get blood flow into the leg. So very basic stuff. Your leg is very weak, it's very fragile at this point, so you gotta be very careful with the stuff you're doing. I also had the CPU or CPM machine. I think it's CPM. I may be wrong, sorry, but what this, it's a assisting device that you put your leg into, and all it does is it band down. All it does is it tries to get movement and flexion in your knee. So its whole purpose is, since you can't really bend your leg under your own power of your knee and leg strength, it does it for you. And it was very helpful in getting my leg to bend a lot quicker than I thought it would. So using that, they really say they want you to use it for like 4 to 6 hours a day, I use it for like an hour. It's honestly, it's hard to sit down for that long, so I don't know why someone or somehow someone could do that. If you can, that's awesome. Just I couldn't. But yeah, so I use that, and really besides that, there's not really much else you can do. So week 2, just pretty much you're trying to get flexion in it and just doing your stretching. So week 3, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same stuff going on as week 2. Main difference, we're totally off the crutches now. I'm totally weight bearing. There's still slight pain in the back of your leg, and especially mine, and I would think for anyone else that uses their hamstring tendon. I don't know if patellar tendon is the same way, but my hamstring, so the back of my leg, was very swollen and very weak. There's a lot of like just blood strains and everything all over, so that was definitely a little more painful than I expected. But you just kind of get used to it. You just gotta be careful with everything. You also start to realize your shin is very numb, very numb. So you gotta be careful. Also, try not to bump into anything. You can't really feel much. It's a very weird numbing sensation going on, and yeah, so definitely different. But with that also, same stuff the surgeon gave me, the exercise and stuff, we're still doing those. Now he gave me different bands too, and I also have bands around the house too that I've used. So I'm gradually increasing the resistance. So that's also a good sign with your leg. It may not look like it's getting stronger, but little things like that, when you're realizing I'm using a heavier band, there's getting more strength in it. That's also a good thing. And a lot of stuff, it's gonna get repetitive. So most of these stretches that you're doing 3 times a day, at least 3 times a day, and you really shouldn't be doing much else because you really can't do much else. So try to do this 3 times a day. I know it's tedious, but set alarms. I know a lot of people set alarms. I was like, all right, I gotta go do it. So set alarms, do whatever you have to do, but you have to do it. Like this is the beginning process of a long journey, and this could make or break how quick you can recover from it. So if you do the little things now, it's gonna make it so much easier down the road. But yeah, pretty much same stuff. The only difference, I was able to start driving during week 3. My leg, they wanted locked in extension, but he said, he wants me to kind of start walking around also, and also I just wanted to. So the other thing is I was able to kind of take it out of extension and try to walk around it very carefully though. So be very careful. This is not something you want to push, but if you have a treadmill or flat surface or something that you can walk on, if you can trust walking out on the street, outside, whatnot, go right ahead. That's what I did. So I started walking around week 3 and trying to put more weight and get the correct, proper walking mechanics down. That was one thing a lot of people complained about, was trying to get back into walking again, trying to relearn how to walk. I was like, not trying to relearn how to walk. It's one more step I gotta do. So just pretty much as soon as you feel confident and comfortable to start walking, by all means, please start doing it. Go to a week follow. So now I'm finally seeing the therapist. And the thing is, we're pretty much doing the same stuff that we were doing the weeks prior. Just being very careful. Obviously, most of the stuff I'm doing, she's kind of doing the stretching with me. More hands therapy, manual therapy and stuff. Just feeling the graft and everything. She also used KT tape, it's called, and literally what this does is, it's a really cool looking tape that she put on the back of my leg, and all it does is it helps with blood and getting the blood to release a lot more, because I had all those problems with all these blood, not clots, but just like dried up blood in the top of my leg and everything. So that helps stretch and pull the vessels and allow more blood flow in there. so it kind of cleans up all that junk and weird bruising on the back of your leg. So we're using that a lot, and then just a lot of more resistance band movement. I was trying to do more lateral movement, so like monster walks are called, side shuffling, and just trying to build the abductors of my legs, trying to build the abductors up. And the whole point of this is to work the muscles around the leg. So a lot of this ACL rehab stuff is just working around the graft, not on it, just more around it, and trying to build the strength around it, because those are the muscles that you lost a lot of during or after surgery, those couple weeks after. So now it's trying to, hey, let's get these back firing and working and blood flow into them, because your main thing is trying to get your full knee extension. Okay, so a lot of times with the when you get the surgery, a lot of times your knee's kind of up off the ground. A lot of you guys understand that. So your whole point is, can you get your knee into full extension, full 0-degree angle, or 180, sorry. So that's definitely something that's very hard to do, just because the graft is still kind of setting in and it's uncomfortable. So you're gonna kind of deal with uncomfortableness, being uncomfortable, and learning to just kind of put up with a little bit of the pain. It's gonna be painful, but you can definitely, it's not like this, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna survive type pain. It's pain because of it's all scar tissue. So your legs barely been moving much these past couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden now you're gonna try to start moving it. So it's fine, do not worry, do not freak out. Just a couple tears, you'll be fine. But yeah, week 4, pretty much starting to finally see the therapist. Only seeing her twice a week just because of school and everything, but I'm doing exercises also outside of that. So if you're only seeing them a little bit of a time, not seeing them every day of the week, ask them for exercises, ask them for other things, other steps you can be doing at home, because that's only gonna help you more. There's 7 days in a week, and if you're only going twice, that's 5 days of rest. That's way too much time to get to be lazy and not try to help your knee out. So if you have other times, if you have bands or something at home that you can do, ask your therapist and just do whatever you can to help maximize the rehab. So I'm gonna combine these weeks just because it's getting very repetitive. But so I'm seeing the therapist now. The brace, I went back to the surgeon on the week 7. So at that point, the brace came off officially. The other 5 and 6, we had the brace on just for safety measures, but it's not lock and extension, it's free motion. I didn't have to, have it locked at any time. We were using it to still safety measures and everything. But when we go to therapy, it comes off. Okay, so don't think you're gonna be trying to sweat through those wearing that during therapy. But so now in therapy, we're getting more into heavier exercises. On a side note, I'm still walking pretty much every day outside of therapy. So those other 5 days, I'm doing my own rehab stuff, and then I'm also walking mile and a half, however much I can walk without that hurting. So keep that in mind too. Walking is a great way. I think personally that's what helped me. A great way to build that strength up, number 1, and then also number 2, build your proper walking mechanic. So walking straight, working on, a lot of therapists will say they want to work on your gait. So what that means is your walking pattern, making sure you're walking correctly, and there's not really any difference between your left and your right leg and how the proper mechanics are with that. But anyway, at therapy now, we're doing a lot more leg weight stuff. So we're working on building the power and strength back into it. So now it's leg press machine. I can't remember the machine's name, but it's like donkey kickbacks pretty much. And also at the end, week 6 and 7, agility ladders. So trying to build the strength and then also your quickness and getting your quickness up with your feet. So little things like that, it's a good accomplishment to realize, like, man, only a couple weeks ago I was in surgery, I could barely even walk out of surgery, and a couple weeks later, you're already back on the ladder drills and everything. So that was awesome seeing those like short-term goals that I didn't expect would happen that quick, and realize how quick I've recovered from it. Number one, it could be from the prehab stuff of doing my exercises and building strength in the leg, could be a factor. Number two, it could just be just rehabbing every day, not just only waiting to go to therapy, or, you know, only listening to the surgeon telling me to only do it, you know, 3 times a day, doing an extra set a day. So little things like that will just hopefully give you that result. If it doesn't, it's going to come right a week or 2 later. So it's not too much of a you know, difference between me compared to someone else. So also with that, in therapy, we're also working on balance and stabilization of the knee too. So a lot of balancing. We're using Bosu balls, and, you know, she'll have a ball or something, she'll throw it at me. As I'm on the Bosu ball, can I catch it, balance myself? So a lot of balancing exercises. So that was week 5, 6, and 7. Week 8 and 9, final weeks and where I'm at right now. So 8 and 9, now we're focusing more on building that strength, explosiveness. So we're focusing more on the leg press machines, pretty much the heavier weight stuff. So machines at the gym, leg press, doing a little bit of leg extension. I know a lot of people freak out about leg extension, saying that messes with the graft, but we're doing leg extension, but only to a certain degree. We're not going full leg extension all the way up. We're going to about 30 degrees. So just a little bit, just to get a little bit of that quad strength. The biggest challenge is building like your quad strength in your legs. Reason because of that is, if you can't fully flex or extend your knee, that's what your quads are. Your quads are your knee extensors. So if you can't extend your knee all the way, you're not activating your quads. Sorry, I just went off on an anatomy thing. I'm just a weird nerd now who loves anatomy and the body. Sorry. Anyway, so now agility ladders, we're still hitting those, sweating constantly on those. She's got me doing crazy stuff on those. Iggy shuffle, 2 feet in, straight down and back. A lot of lateral quick movements. So pretty much ladder drills that you are doing or have done or seen football players, soccer players, whoever do. I'm pretty much doing those and trying to fly through them as quick as possible. And then also we started jogging too. So no more walking, now we're jogging on the treadmill. Nothing crazy, nothing else. Not gonna go out to a track and start jogging. She wants it to be a flat surface, something that I can definitely trust, and not, you know, just take that chance of stepping on or into a ditch, and God forbid that happens, or to any of you if that happens. So just running on it, or jogging, can't say running yet, jogging on a treadmill. The one thing I'll say though, we did it light at first, is I definitely am not as out of shape as I thought I would be, knowing that, you know, I haven't really been running or doing, you know, intense cardio as I usually do. Definitely not as out of shape as I thought. I thought, like, all right, this first 2 minutes is gonna suck doing this. There's no way I'm gonna be out of breath. Felt completely fine, so I was like, all right, like, thank God I didn't lose too much fitness and endurance. So, but that will definitely come with time of building that back up. And I also have started picking up juggling a soccer ball. I've been juggling the past couple of weeks, just taking it easy. But now I'm feeling more confident to start juggling whenever I can, whenever I have time to, just get touches on the ball. So with that, guys, thank you as always for joining me. Sorry I've been MIA for a while. A lot of you understand grad school is a lot of work. But thank you guys for staying and tuning in with me. I know I've been talking a lot. Hopefully in the next video I can make it a little bit less talkative and more soccer or whatever related. So actually about that, let me know in the comments. Drop a comment. I know I say it every video, but drop a comment what video you guys want me to do next. A soccer video, mindset video, lifestyle video if you guys want me to just do a vlog, a day in the life.
you know, little stuff like that, you know, spice it up a little bit. As always, guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and enjoy your life and the road to recovery.